SVP is mixing things up, and digital TV, it'll never be the same.
Good evening. Welcome to Couch Convo with Coach Karla, where we give you life tips, tools, and solutions to help make your life better. Thank you so much for joining us on tonight. Tonight, we have a special guest, Dr. Nikki Gates. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
Super excited to be here.
So, Dr. Gates has 27 years of personal, professional, and entrepreneurial experience, along with community advocacy and public service work, which has prepared her to be of service to others. She is the mother of 4 beautiful daughters. She loves cooking, entertaining, and traveling the world.
Oh, yeah.
As a single mother and serial entrepreneur, Dr. Nikki Gates successfully created an empowerment entrepreneurial movement for herself and other single moms and womenpreneurs as the founder of Successful Single Moms Memphis and the owner of the CEO Unlimited. All right.
Yes.
Just wanted people to be able to have some background information on you. Well, first of all, how was Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving was good. It was good. It was busy. I worked on Thanksgiving, but we, here to service the community. So we had a group of about 80 people that came and had Thanksgiving dinner at the Fraser Connect Center, which was awesome, amazing group, just to see the generations. It was such a blessing.
Okay. Now, did you all have that catered, or did you all bring in dishes? How did that work out?
Well, actually, their family brought in all the food. And the cool part was we were able to participate in that, although we did Thanksgiving after, their affair, but it was great. How was yours?
Mine was great.
Awesome.
Just glad to get a break and be able to see family. We actually had a gathering at my second cousin's home, so it was like generations of us there.
Nice.
So it was lots of fun and good to see people that I haven't seen in a while.
Yeah,
so,
awesome.
It was good. And then my birthday is a few days after Thanksgiving, so I've just been having a blast.
Yes.
So yeah, absolute blast. I was off on my birthday on the 28th.
Yeah.
And then I had a brunch at Another Broken Egg to celebrate my birthday. Okay. So I go all out for my birthday, of course, because I'm always serving other people.
Right. So are you going to take it on into December? Or?
We're taking it on into December. Hey. Absolutely. We sure are. You must have read my mind.
Yes. Got to do it. Got to do it. A whole month.
So tell us a little bit about what unique strengths do you feel like women need as entrepreneurs?
Well, I think we have everything it takes already, right? As women, we are flexible, we can multitask. Not to say that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes it could be a bad thing.
It can.
Because we don't know when to turn it off.
Right.
We naturally are nurturers, and so I think we're good for business. Women have exactly what we need to excel and succeed in business.
So attention to detail.
Very much so.
Okay.
Yes, being organized, all the things that we do in our everyday life is transferable to our business.
Right.
So, I guess if you're a lazy person, that probably is not a good thing.
No, you cannot
probably
be
not
lazy.
Gonna be good for business.
You cannot be lazy and be an entrepreneur. You
cannot.
definitely have to be someone who's persistent and has a strong work ethic. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And you got to be motivated and proactive and all those good things.
Yeah, you got to be able to motivate yourself. You got to be a self-starter, right?
Yeah.
Because there's no real cheerleaders behind you unless you already have crafted and created or curated that circle of people to, help you boost your business.
Yeah.
Oh boy, it's a lot of work.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
Not for the faint.
Okay.
It's not for the
faint. After we just said all of that, how can we encourage more women to pursue entrepreneurship?
Well, you know what? I think just being truthful about our stories, right? I tell people all the time, being an entrepreneur is not easy. It's a lot of work. You're going to put in a lot of hours. If you're used to getting that paycheck, every 2 weeks or every month or however you get paid, and that's okay for you, you might want to stay in that lane, because it's different when you're in business. That money may have gaps,
fluctuate.
And it'll fluctuate, might make money all winter long and then make nothing during the summer months. Yeah. What are you going to do to tie it over, right?
Yeah.
So I think just, you got to go in with a knowledge and an understanding that It's going to take some grit and some grind to make it happen.
Yeah.
But you can make it happen.
Yeah.
You can
And I
definitely
think
make it happen.
people maybe need to do more research and find out what is it's a certain word that I'm looking for. Likely. When are you likely to break even? When are you likely to make a profit in business? If entrepreneurship is something that you're interested in.
Yeah, definitely do your research. I would say, talk to people, get a mentor, get a coach that can guide you through that process. Somebody that's already done it before.
Yeah.
There's no sense in recreating the wheel. If somebody has already done it, you can take a little, a little knowledge from them,
Yeah.
apply it to whatever you're doing to make things happen for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, is that something that you walk women through, is walking them through their businesses, doing
Yes.
business coaching?
Absolutely. So as a business coach, in the CEO Unlimited was really designed for that manner. Of course, during the pandemic, we had a lot of women that were starting businesses because
Yeah.
now we're looking for ways that we could make money because
Right.
the economy was so unstable at that time.
Right.
So I do encourage women to actually get a coach, get a business consultant or somebody that can kind of guide them through that process. If you don't know, you don't know, and there's no harm in that.
Right.
Be okay with asking questions, because I think a lot of times women are so fearful of
Right.
asking questions because we're afraid that somebody might steal our idea. Ask the right person.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you definitely have to have the right people in your circle. But I'm a big, strong advocate for business coaching. You're a coach, and
Yeah.
so I know the value behind that and the benefit of that.
Yeah.
But a mentor also works. Do whatever it takes to get some knowledge from somebody else, because we don't have all the answers. We don't.
That's right. And as you were talking, I was thinking, like, a lot of times women need that encouragement because as we grow up as little girls, we're often taught to be quiet and docile and allow other people to speak for us. And so you can actually see that come out in our relationships and when we communicate with others.
Sure.
I have the perfect example, and it's funny, but it's also divine. I went to Ulta. I think it was on my birthday, actually.
Okay.
One of my favorite places to go, right? But I actually ran into two other Karlas. We all happened to be at the register at the same time. And so, we were chatting it up. Oh, this is really unique or whatever. And so in my mind, I said, we need to take a picture. But my first reaction was, no, they're going to think I'm crazy.
And they probably would have welcomed it. Did you do it?
I didn't. One of the other Karlas beat me to it.
Okay.
And I said, I'm so glad you said that because I was afraid to say it.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was afraid to
Okay.
say it. And so she did, and we took a picture, and so it was a really fun moment because you don't run into, there's some Karlas out there,
Right.
but you don't see three Karlas
At
in the
one time.
same building at the same time.
Now,
so
Nicole, you'll find 1,000, right?
Really?
I agree.
Okay.
I agree. That's pretty cool.
So it was a fun moment, and I'm glad that one of us suggested. But I just
Yeah.
brought that up to say that natural fear is with us because we've been taught all of our lives not to speak up, and we hear no so much, and
do.
so we have to recondition ourselves to be able to ask questions and assert ourselves. Now, a lot of times I do assert myself, but I didn't in that moment.
Right.
And so any of us can be guilty of that, right?
Yeah. And fear holds us back. I talk about this a lot with business owners. Sometimes you got to do it afraid. You
That's
really
right.
have to do it afraid. You might not have the support system, like I stated before,
Mm-hmm.
and you might have to actually curate your own support system.
right.
I did. I come from a family that are not entrepreneurs. So it's hard for people to kind of understand, like, you want to do what? Well, what about your money? Because we're so stuck on we have to get a paycheck, right?
Yeah.
And so, I have parents that are not entrepreneurs, so of course they didn't get it. Like, you doing what? You work
Okay.
for yourself.
Yeah.
Where your money come from? Are you okay? They think
Yeah.
you're going to starve to death.
Right, yeah.
But, you can make it, and we need more women to really share those stories of their fear when they started their business and how maybe, they had to jump this hurdle to get to this point or whatever. We need more women to share those stories. So
And
I
it's
think that's
interesting.
important.
I'm sorry. It's
No.
interesting because as you were talking, I was thinking, actually, our people, if we look back at history and time, our people had to be entrepreneurs at one point in time when they were coming out of slavery into the Jim Crow era and all of that. They had to be entrepreneurs.
They did.
And that was to be able to provide for themselves, to be able to do the best crops. Like my dad just told me this awesome story. I'm not going to tell it right now, but this awesome story about something innovative that they had to do to get the rain off the cotton crop so that it wouldn't ruin.
Really?
Yeah. And so
Okay.
it's interesting that we went from being entrepreneurs to getting steady jobs, and now we're looking at being entrepreneurs again.
Correct.
Really, a lot right now because inflation is so high.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, the economy now is going to force us back to using the skills that we already have, right, to be able to make some income. And it is possible. I've done it.
Yeah.
I have done it. I literally started off as an entrepreneur really to kind of make ends meet. One thing I was really good at, it was like I love planning events. I love planning themed events at that, right?
Yeah.
And so that was the thing after my divorce. And, you know, I was like, oh, man, you know, I'm working as a teacher. Teachers don't make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Raises for teachers.
Yeah.
But teachers don't make a whole lot of money, right? So I had to find a way to make ends meet.
Yeah.
And that entrepreneurship was the thing that did it for me.
Yeah.
So I tell people all the time, entrepreneurship saved my life, because literally it did. It made a huge difference for me.
And then for a lot of people out there, think about, you know, you don't always, or you may not want to, quit your job first.
Right.
You can keep your job as you pursue entrepreneurship and pursue some dreams and goals that you have, and see how things go first before you just hop on out there.
Absolutely. Let your job fuel those possibilities of entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So are there any gender-specific obstacles that you've encountered while working your business or seeking funding or partnerships?
For me personally, no,
Okay.
I haven't, but I do know that actually exists. There are women, depending on the field. For instance, a woman in tech, you know, they are still having a hard time with getting funding and capital, you know, to take their business to the next level. They don't necessarily have the resources. Small business world for a long time had been dominated by men.
That's
you
true.
know,
That's
and
true.
we saw a big rise in female entrepreneurs actually coming up the ranks and really taking things by storm. It was amazing to see during the pandemic, but it's steadily growing. And I'm loving it. I love this movement of women just being able to do their own thing on their own terms. Love it.
And there actually is, for people who don't know, there is a women's business center located in Crosstown Concourse. So I just want everybody to be aware of that resource is there if you're interested as a woman in starting off
Great
in
program.
entrepreneurship.
Awesome program. I've participated with the Women's Business Center South. I think it's at the onset, you know, when they first started, because I just, you know, naturally nosy. I think women are. And I wanted to know more, like, what are they doing exactly for women entrepreneurs? But they are doing amazing things for women entrepreneurs. And one of the things I love the best is they're really working to make sure they have mentors. They're trying to get more women certified. Because when you certify your business, now that opens up a whole nother world, right, of government contracts and things like that. So you have another way to get streams of income without having to really chase down clients. So to speak.
All right. In your opinion, how can organizations or companies encourage a more inclusive and supportive environment for women in entrepreneurship?
Ooh, that's a good one. That is a good one. I would say, you know, if I was an owner of a corporation locally, right here in Memphis, I would look at a couple of things. I look at our poverty level, our crime level, all these things that we're seeing on a regular basis, right? And as a corporation, I would want to put some monies into there. And there's some corporations here that have done that.
Right.
We've seen FedEx, you know, rise up to the occasion. Cummins, believe it, Cummins came out big and strong during the pandemic, especially in doing a lot of programming for entrepreneurs for startups. So, you know, a lot of corporations have got away from startups. They're more involved with people that are seasoned entrepreneurs. They've been in business more than 3 to 5 years. They filed taxes, so they know they have income coming in. They can kind of see that. But they kind of was leaving out the startups. So let's say you wanted to start up, a boutique, and you didn't know where to start. That's not your field of expertise.
Right.
Where do startups go? So it's good to see a lot of our corporations here locally are picking up the mantle and saying, hey, let's educate these entrepreneurs as well as our teens.
Yeah.
Because our teens are savvy, y'all. Listen to me.
Yeah.
They are brilliant when it comes to business.
Yeah,
Seriously.
absolutely. Because they're coming along with that natural ability to work with computers and tech.
Yes.
And so it's interesting.
It's amazing. It's amazing to see.
I know I have a friend, I think her daughter is like 4, and so her daughter was asking her something about what did she used to watch on the iPad. And so my friend had to tell her, well, when I came along, we didn't have iPads.
Right.
So it's really interesting. And I know, like I was telling somebody, email was coming out when I was in college. And so it really helps put perspective on it when we look at like where we were in life when certain things came along.
Absolutely.
Yes. Because some of these people out here weren't born when email was coming out.
Or computers.
Yeah.
I remember our first computers. So yeah, we won't date ourselves.
Which actually you're right. I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, computers came along while we were growing up. So yeah.
I think we got our first one when I was in middle school. So
Probably. Yeah, that sounds about right. And I mean, like, if we think about it, like the computers then were so different from what we have
oh my
now.
gosh, so
I don't
totally
think I would have ever thought that a computer would look like how the laptop looks now.
Right.
It's really
and
interesting.
the ability to touch the screen and all that good stuff. Yeah. So much has changed.
Yeah.
But it's awesome.
It is awesome. Okay.
Helps us do better in business for sure.
That's true. That's true. I love touchscreen.
I do too.
What are some successful strategies for achieving work-life balance?
Ooh. Well, work-life balance, first of all, I would probably say it's a myth. There's no such thing because how do you balance what you love, right?
Yeah.
I love the business that I'm in, and there's really no balance. I could wake up in the middle of the night and come up with an idea, and I'll pull out my laptop. I'm sure you've done it too.
Yeah.
I know I'm not the only one. I'm not guilty.
That's right.
But I might pull it out and get to working on something so I don't forget. So I would say the work-life balance comes in with self-care. As womenpreneurs, I think it's very important that we take out the time to really cultivate self-care. Make it one day of the week. I have a friend, Katrina, she is amazing. She cracks me up because she calls it her personal Sabbath, right? So she turns off her phone. She unplugs from computers and tablets and iPhones and whatever else, other gadgets that we have. She just unplugs from it. And everybody knows if you call her on Sunday from 1 to like 7 o'clock, she is not going to answer you. You can leave a message, she'll get back to you, but she will not answer you in that moment because that's her time. And I had to learn from her actually to take time for me.
Everybody needs that.
Because you'll burn out.
Just
like on a job, So that's your work-life balance. Find some me time and make sure it's on your calendar. For me, I had to kind of change things on my calendar. So when I was working from home and I was doing my business strictly from home, the first part of the morning, the first hour, I called it my empower hour. That's when I knew I was going to grind, right? Returning calls, returning emails, and all that good stuff. Then it gave me a little more time during the day to kind of plan and meet with clients and so on and so forth. So you got to find the mix that works for you, but a real, true work-life balance.
It's a myth.
Yeah. You got to tailor it to your schedule.
Tailor it to your schedule. But I like what you said, having that section of time on your calendar where nobody can bother you or access you so that you can recharge and rest. And mine is like Friday night. And I mean, the earlier I get off on Friday, the better, because by the time we get to Friday, I'm tired.
You have worked the whole week, and for an entrepreneur, our work week is so different than a person is, clocking time at a regular job. It's just totally different. So I think you have to find what works for you, find that balance in your schedule, and plan for your me time. Plan for it.
And I was also going to say plan fun, because a lot of times when I sit down with clients in therapy, and I ask, what do you do for fun? Half of the time, people don't have anything that they do for fun. And that's not healthy.
That's scary.
That
scares me to hear that a person. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
scary. Wow.
It is, yeah, but
Wow.
ma'am, yes, and it might be more than half.
Wow.
So yeah, but one thing that I can say that I enjoy as a therapist and a coach is helping people come up with things that are fun, because everybody needs that now. I like the movies, but then I also like to do things that I consider to be more therapeutic, like painting and things like that.
Awesome. Yeah.
So yeah, but we all need something.
Gotta find something.
Even if we have kids, even if we're a caretaker, we have to have time for ourselves.
And I think it's so important. Can I add this little? That was
Yes,
great.
please do.
I'm going to add this. It's so important for our women, because what I see, our women, we multitask. We take care of everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah.
You don't even have to have kids, but you're taking care of the neighbor's kids.
That's
And you
right.
know what I mean? So
That's right.
we definitely have to set aside time where we can unwind, unplug.
And you
Do
know,
it.
actually, I was reading in a magazine article, and they were saying that a lot of times women find that time just to organize sitting in the car, in the driveway. And I'm guilty of that.
Me too.
It's like nobody's gonna bother me unless the phone rings, but I control that space. And so I can relate to it, but nowadays we got to be careful about doing that because of safety, unfortunately.
Yeah, you know, I remember driving home. Well, when I worked for the county, I had a very demanding job. I would come home, I would sit in the driveway for about 2 hours. My kids would know I was out there, but they knew not to come and bother me.
Yeah.
Right? I had to like digress, deprogram,
Yeah.
before I could go in and, you know, do life at home.
Yeah.
And I think the fortunate part about being an entrepreneur is we get to determine when that is, what time, you know, I want to take a break. We don't have to ask for vacation time. It's a beautiful thing. Entrepreneurship can be really beautiful.
It can
if
be.
you allow it.
It can be,
Yeah, it can.
absolutely. So what about any shifts or improvements in representation for women in leadership roles? Do you feel like you've seen any shifts in that?
I have. Since the pandemic, I see more women participate, like these programs, these corporations that came forward. There's a lot of women at the helm of that. I love it. They are out there making things happen. So
Yeah.
they're sitting at the table. And I think because they get it, right? They're women. Even if they're not an entrepreneur and they work for that corporation, they get it. They
Yeah.
understand the pain points that we have as women. And how important it is for us to do business and do business in the right manner.
Yeah,
And on our
absolutely.
terms.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
What role does mentorship and networking play in supporting women entrepreneurs, in your opinion?
Wow. So you heard me stress coaches,
Yeah.
mentors. I'm a firm believer. I have 2 coaches myself,
Okay.
and a mentor.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I feel like I need 3 or 4 more.
Yeah.
You know, because they all have different expertise. So I think that's really important. You cannot be in business, in my opinion, without one of the 2, a
Yeah.
coach or a mentor. You need that.
So I work with several coaches and I have several mentors. I think I have a whole complete village. And then I have friendships with people who are coaches, who are therapists,
Absolutely.
who are teachers. And so, you know, we have some of the same thought processes, or we understand the walk of life that each one of us is in,
Yeah.
which is service. And so, you know, we experience some of the same challenges, and so we can lean on one another or have a good laugh about something funny that happened.
yeah.
But as a therapist, that's another thing that I've really observed, is that people really do need to increase the number of people in their village or their support network.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, you asked about networking.
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer in networking. I have friends that don't believe in networking that are business owners. And I was like, how do you do business if you're not out there meeting other
Right,
people, right?
right.
Anybody that knows me knows, and my title at work on my 9-to-5 job is a connector.
Oh,
And I believe
yeah.
that title is me all day, every day,
Yeah.
since the day I was born.
Okay.
I'm always connecting people to other folks, like, hey, have you heard of so-and-so? Oh, Coach Karla has a show. You should go on her show. You know what I mean? So I'm always looking for ways to connect women to other resources and other opportunities.
Yeah.
Networking is something I would say every entrepreneur needs to do. Come
Yeah.
out of your comfort zone, because it requires you to come out of your comfort zone, right?
Yeah.
The very first time, or the person that really taught me about networking, she was so adamant. She was like, we are not leaving this event until you talk to 10 people.
Whoa, 10
And at that
people.
time, I was like, I don't want to talk to nobody.
Yeah.
How are you going to be in business if you don't want to talk to anybody?
Yeah.
You know, you can just make chit chat just in line at the grocery store, right?
Yeah.
And so she was like, you're not leaving until you talk to 10 people.
That's awesome.
And I was like, got me out of that zone really quick. And be comfortable with telling who you are and what you do and who you service, you know. Those are basic things. And I think if you can get past that, and you'll easily, introverts can do this.
Okay.
You know, seriously, networking.
All right.
It
Yeah,
works.
networking is really important, and
It's
Memphis
essential.
has a lot of opportunities for networking. I know the
Yes.
Link Up Memphis had an
Oh,
event
yeah.
last night.
Yep.
You have the MBA Association. They have regular networking events. The Urban League. And so you've got a lot of different opportunities for networking right here in Memphis. I wanted to make sure that I let people know that Cadavia Hassel of Gimme Sugar Bakery will be having her grand opening this Saturday at 2200 Germantown Parkway at 11 a.m. Capital Idea has Christmas shirts and sweatshirts available. You can reach them on Facebook and Instagram. Now, Dr. Gates, you want to tell people how they can get in touch with you?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So you can find me on Facebook, Dr. Nikki Gates on Facebook, or you can look for our page, the CEO Unlimited. And the CEO Unlimited is a group for women business owners. So we do a lot to support them, resources, capital opportunities, that kind of stuff. So you can find us there, both on Facebook and Instagram.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, thank you so much. I've enjoyed having you on this evening. And as always, you're welcome to come on back to the couch.
Absolutely. I appreciate you having me. Thank you so much.
Good night.
Good night.
Can you actually imagine hosting your next event at the all-new SVP Banquet and Event Center? Yes, spacious, beautiful venue with plenty of parking, located in the heart of East Memphis. Let us host your next intimate birthday gathering, family repast, bachelorette party, wedding and reception, baby shower, corporate meeting, social club event. Call us today.